Nosara is my second home and my favorite beach. I discovered this place 8 years ago, and I never left. I'm here with my body, but my mind is there all the time. I met most of these ladies in the book on the beach, because it's not the beach that is most important for us, for our mental health or for our enjoyment. It's the community, the people who we meet there. And Nosara is an extremely special place. The community of female surfers there is extraordinary. They immediately became, my friends. They let me to their houses, they cook the food, they take care of my child. And I always wanted to do something to give back. And this is why I made Nature of Surf Women. In core of every woman, there is a need to be supported by other women, because we age, we have kids, we are stressed with so many things. And then if you have this community of girls who can drink with you and cry with you and surf with you in the next morning, you're saved. And this is why this project exists. And this is why I want to have as much as possible events to remind you that you're all beautiful, that your body is so strong and so powerful, and that you are maybe not born to be a champion in surfing, but you are definitely born to be on the beach and to find your friends there and to connect with them and to release yourself from all this media stuff about your shoes and jewelry, and just be who you are. You only can use your energy to show yourself who you are. And this is why I love these women. I love them. They're so true to who they are. And I wish you all the same. So that's my story about the beach.
My first time surfing in Chaco, which is 45 minutes from Chicama, longest left in the world. You can come there, it's fine. It is, I didn't see any other local, or I didn't see any local women surfing. And ended up connecting up with some local moms over time, and ended up coming back 3 years later because the girls that I was, at the time I was focusing on art therapy. I did an art therapy, ocean conservation, women's empowerment program for a local school there with a group of 7 girls. And part of it was getting them in the ocean, and all of them were 10 minutes walking distance from the beach, and none of them knew how to swim or had been in the sea before. And so I was there for 3 weeks, did this, did my thing at this school, very cool, not coming back. And then 3 years later, my girlfriend that ran the school was like, now they need to come back. These girls are still surfing. They're all using one surfboard, and they would just love to get a chance to reconnect with you and see what's possible. And so ended up going back, and through that process, me chatting with a group of girlfriends here, they're like, hey, I'm gonna go to Peru and meet up with these girls that are getting surfing going in their area. Ended up traveling with 7 great girlfriends down to Peru, and through that process got to experience what it, the ocean is this common language that we all have. And when we go into the ocean, culture, language, different ways of being all just dissipates and washes away, and the ocean just holds us all. And we get this opportunity to really see each other and be seen by each other. And now there's 4 local girls, and that was 2010. And now this past summer we had 50 local girls that were coming into the water, and they were being taught and pushed into the waves by those 4 local girls in the beginning. And those 4 local girls just got their surf instructor licenses and opened up their very first surf school. And so I remember when I quit my private practice and I told my parents sitting right here that I'm not doing private practice anymore and I'm going to do surf therapy. They're like, Natalie, you finally got a real job. What are you doing? And at the time it was extremely scary. I didn't even call it surf therapy because I was worried about getting my license taken away as a therapist. And there's got to be ethics or some reason why this isn't already happening. And with the support of friends and community and family, took that jump and went for it. And now Groundswell Community Project is the first organization and training space where people can come to get continuing education units by learning about surf therapy. And we have a number of interns that come and join us every year to finish up their masters in counseling and therapy through getting to study surf therapy. And we have some of them here right now, which is really exciting. And now they're going off and starting their own surf therapy organizations and integrating surf therapy into their clinics. And so because of these girls in Huanchaco, Peru, because of Yaya in Cuba, because of all these women that turned surfing from this thing that is just like a cool, in California it's a cool consumerism, it looks good, people wear surf stuff even though they don't surf because it's a cool thing to do. Whereas in other places like Huanchaco and Cuba, it's radical. You are being a change maker. You are stepping into your power and literally making waves in your communities by stepping out and surfing. And so being able to see that and recognize that surfing isn't just a cool sport. It's a radical act of reconnecting to yourself, deepening your own relationship to self, your relationship to others, and your relationship to the sea. And when we go into the sea and find our healing in the sea, it's impossible not to want to heal her. And so that is where so much, like that little thing that I said in there about positive psychology, about how when you notice you have something to give in yourself and you want to actively give it back. Surf therapy isn't just about coming to the sea for our own personal healing, it's about coming to the sea for our collective healing and for this earth's healing. And so it's, for me, this is like what this is what therapy's all about. It's about really changing ourselves, changing our communities, and changing this earth to be healthier and happier and reclaiming our beauty in these spaces. And so it's exciting. And that's what Ivana's book is doing, is bringing attention to the diversity of beauty that women are bringing to the shores and into the waters. And the ocean is just holding up this mirror, allowing each of us to see ourselves and to see, like, yes, I'm going through postpartum depression or eating disorders or getting out of an early divorce or domestic abuse. But that's not all that I am. That trauma label isn't all that I am. I'm so much more than that. And the ocean holds up this mirror, allowing us to see those little glimmers of beauty or joy or peace or empathy that maybe the other things that are happening in our life are taking over. And it reminds us of who we are. And then we can go back to shore, back to our families, back to our communities, and remember that and practice that. And then it just gets to grow and ripple out more and more and more.
And mom and dad are now proud, right?
So proud. Thank you. They're here.
My name is Jo, or Joanna Burga. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, but I'm also part of a co-lead of the One Watershed Program for the Surfrider Foundation. The purpose of the program is to help decrease barriers to accessing the beach, right? So when I was a little girl, I can't drive, we know gas is ridiculous for most people, time when people or parents are working multiple jobs. There's other barriers too, psychological barriers. Do we feel safe, going to the beach? We have our own barriers, for example, with transportation. Like, we're still trying to figure out how do we get more kids because we don't have our own kind of transportation. We also try to break barriers by helping pay for parking at times if we need to for the families. With the One Watershed Program, we're all actually truly friends. Giselle is also here, so she's our special guest that I want to bring up from Los Courage Camps, and we've had her and her amazing community with us for One Watershed, and so I would love for her to talk more about all the amazing stuff that she does.
I am a first-generation Latina, born and raised in East Los Angeles, which is, in other words, Little Mexico. Literally, the storefronts are all written in Spanish, and I grew up around all Latinos. My parents, my dad ran across the desert, my mom snuck in a car. Truly the most quintessential immigrant story. I've been the first to do many things in my family, and for the first 25 years, it was the first to do things to help us continue to survive. And it was really through hitting a moment of extreme darkness, which my community, Los Latinos, they never talk about depression. It is very real. And I love what you said about it being a mirror, right? And suddenly realizing that life is so much bigger than the thing that's right in front of you. For me, it happened when I was 25 and decided that for the first time, I was gonna do all the things that I had always dreamed about. And surfing, for some reason, was one of those things. I decided to learn to surf, not knowing how to swim, not knowing a single person in my entire community who was a surfer. When I actually went home and told my parents, Mami, Papi, pienso que voy a tratar esta cosa, se llama surf. They were like, we don't even know what that is, but is that getting you anywhere in life? They judge me hard. They judge me hard. But what I say about surfing is that for many of us, regardless of the color of your skin or your background, surfing allows you to re-moisten the wounds, the scar tissue, right? Because as humans, we go through experiences, and when you're really little, you don't have that many, but as you get older and life complicates itself, you get cut over and over and over again. And what happens to a cut, once it heals, it grows a scar. Thank you, great job. I used to be a teacher too, so. And the ocean will dampen those scars and allow you to reassess if you want to hold on to them, because they do tend to create a little bit of a shell around your life. I think I drank gallons upon gallons of ocean water in Venice Beach, failed miserably. I had never failed so hard, but also felt so happy to do something, to try, exactly what I said in the video. And for the first time, at 25 years old, I felt brave, I felt powerful, I felt strong, I felt like there wasn't anything in the world that I couldn't figure out, which has led to many changes in my life. And I kept thinking of my students, Naji, Tamir, all of my kids. I actually used to teach in South Central, and I thought, why don't I just bring my whole classroom to the ocean and we can all go surfing, and then they will see this thing that I'm starting to see. That wasn't logistically possible. So I started to put a little flyer on Instagram, and 2 people showed up the first day, and they were adults. The next time, 30 people showed up, and there were some kids in the mix. The next time, I think there were so many people that a couple of friends and I were sharing 3 surfboards, and we couldn't figure out how we were going to teach all these people how to surf. And over the past 6-7 years, this will be our 7th season. Surfrider has helped us. This will now be our 3rd season on Watershed, where they've hosted the largest camp, where we not only bring out 30 kids and their families. I also want to say, healing is a multi-generational thing. When you have one person in that family that goes through a healing journey, it has a ripple effect on the entire family. So it's really beautiful for me to see that I worked on healing, and it's had this ripple effect on everybody around me. We've taught, and I actually just tallied it up, 371 children how to surf for free with such small resources and so much help over the past 6 years. And I will continue to give surf lessons for free. We've expanded into martial arts because I am very passionate about martial arts. And I think it's another way for kids who have been held back from that healing to heal in one wave, one round of martial arts, in this really quick moment of having this massively transformational experience. So that's my subject. That's what I'm a teacher of. I'm a teacher of courage. And if you're someone who loves surfing and wants to share that with a child consistently, we would love to have you.
Be the stoke that you want to be receiving out there. And so simply saying hi to someone when you paddle out, cheering someone onto a wave, after someone catches a wave, giving them a little yeah, you did it, that was awesome. Every time we bump into somebody, we shift them a little bit as well. And so anything, even if it's just a simple hello in the lineup, can make a ripple impact that you have no idea. And oftentimes you have no idea. And that's part of therapy, being a therapist. You work with people and then maybe you never see them again, you have no idea what actually happened. You just have to trust that you showed up in the best way that you can in that very moment, and trust that nature, resiliency, all the things will happen in the way that they need to happen.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you so much, Giselle. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you, Ana, for hosting this. Thank you, Deus. I love you guys so much respect towards you.